Okay, when you're done, you get something like this. This is the stencil, you know, the die. Has one more flower in here. I love this. And then you have all these beautiful flowers out of manila, which is a thicker cardstock, so you can spray it and paint it and let it dry and heat it, and it won't fall apart or wilt. And so I'm going to put all my dies in here so I can use it after. Then we're going to make a journaling page. But before I make the journaling page, I want to show you how I want to prep my stencil here. I like it double-sided like that because it's thicker, and it also gives it a little dimension, because some parts it gives it a little bit more zing, because some parts are not going to be even with the other parts, and I really like that. And so what I do, and I always save this part's a good part to save for journaling, is I just, it doesn't have to be straight, but cut about a 1/2 inch along your stencil. Yep. 1/2 inch, maybe an inch, whatever you prefer, because we're going to add the tape to it. You just want to let it fall where it may fall and not worry so much about. I'll just come back to the end and snip it off, and then I like to save the tabs. And I just go, you know, straight up 1/2 inch, because it's already an inch. Okay. Just now you take it, this is painter's tape. And actually, I think I need to put this back on and use the thinner painter's tape, because I'm just looking at how small whoo, that flew out. Use the thinner, the 1 inch painter's tape. And that way when you fold it, it's a 1/2 inch. Just put it on the side here. It's alright if you cover a little bit of the flower, because the perfect stencils I don't really like, you know. And just fold it up, and if you have some super thin, you know, stencils, you could try it on stencil paper, but I just tried it on stencil paper and recorded it, and it didn't work, so I'm gonna delete it. I was trying to use the long boards instead of the short boards, thinking it will help me, and use the ones that I showed you. It works better. And so I have painter's tape on this side, and you don't have to do that, but this stencil's big enough for me, so I'm fine with doing that. I'm just trying to give it a thick edge so it won't crumble on me when I'm lifting it up. Since I can, I'm gonna fold. You know, use your judgment. If you think one side needs more than the other, then just add it. And this is a good way to save, you know, all that money on stencils when you're already paying so much for your dies, you know. So I like to make homemade stencils. And you can do it out of I bought this manila paper folder at a secondhand store, and so it was cheaper than normal to make this stencil. But those stencils, those manila envelopes, they don't cost very much. Because I find I like a lot of dies and I buy them. And then I think, well, how can I implement these into my journal? You know, how can I make these flower images in my journal? And I tried this and I loved it. So, you know, it's really up to the individual. You just want to try to make, you know, the edges strong. And then I come through with my little, let's see where it is, my stapler, and I just staple a few here and there, and then you have a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful stencil to do your work with. And so I'm going to go ahead and staple some. I usually have my stapler right here, and I don't see it. Lucky me. So I'm going to go ahead and staple this, and then I'll be back and show you how that, and then we'll start journaling. And I'll leave these out and show you what I'm going to do with those also. And that's the die I used.